Coward!
Tune for some powerful speeches. Without further ado, with the stopwatch.
So I'm recording this whole punch from the stopwatch. Spear combo on record 2 from July 12th.
This one was back in May. I pressed on. I'm back for drugs, you know. It's pretty hard to see something better than that. You see the distance being covered at lightning speed. Because you got to realize it's a long distance, you know. It's like seeing somebody cover, sprint, like a half a meter real quickly versus someone sprinting 100 meters. You know, you can see it coming from a while away, and it takes longer to travel, but you can tell if you're a careful observer which one is moving quicker. One good sign is when you see, you can't see how the hit comes out. Because the hit lingers there, it's a bad sign. You don't want to be able to see how the hit is hitting. Whether it's like this or whether it's a sun punch or what have you, or somewhere in between. So anyway, here we go.
It's July 1st.
It's July. Let's see this in a smaller version. Let's see if there's a difference.
It's July 1st.
I believe this one is from July as well.
In case you're wondering, the stop clock, excuse me, the watch wasn't enough, so I'm going to a stop clock to help see the nuances between the fractions of seconds.
That is top martial arts material. I'm proud of that one. Hopefully the playback has another problem.
In case you're wondering, the stop clock, excuse me, the watch wasn't enough, so I'm going to a stop clock to help see the nuances between the fractions of seconds.
Seconds. I'm conquering my enemies with my fist over the blade in a split second, like 0.1 second. I can stab somebody in the neck, and so I'm very happy with that. So martial arts is about quickly defeating your enemy and moving on to the next one. So anyway,
it's quick combo.
let's play it one more time.
It's quick combo.
That full screen. Do it real quick.
It's quick combo.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Hold on.
It's quick combo.
For those of you who don't know, capoeira puts an emphasis on dodging more than blocks, and this is important for many reasons. Even if you have a shield in your hand, dodging is still important. You can, for example, dodge the strike, then use the shield to hit the arm, which will leave the under the armpit and the side exposed, and you can stab them in the side. So there's a lot of applications from focusing on the dodging. Now watch the dodging in this video, not just the striking.
This one is exceptional.
To the dodging. It shows you that I can dodge while super striking really fast, which is a very admirable quality to have. See, I think that was that one, so this is the last one. Okay. This kick is the most important kick for combat applications. I recommend focusing on this kick because it's done from the front row position, which is usually how you face your enemy. So you have a shield and spear in hand, and you can knock them away. Oh, you'll see.
Skip ahead with this kick on record. That's a fast kick. Hopefully no issues.
It's a very respectful kick. And Bruce Lee has very small legs, and his kick would be almost completely ineffective. He'd have to deal with my fast kick, and he'd have to cover, and then he'd have to deal with me being faster than him with a longer reach. Certainly would be conquered with almost every weapon. With the nunchucks, perhaps, I actually know, I do believe he would beat me with the nunchucks, just like I know some people who are bigger would beat me with grappling, but it would never get to that point. And so when it comes to universal skills, or the most transferable skills, with the most weapons, spears, swords, butterfly knives, like the most things, I would win. Good morning, viewers. At least it is the morning here. You can tell by the apparent desperation in one's enemy's tactics how much you're kicking their ass. They may be making me angry from time to time, but it obviously has been blowing up in their face. Their faces must reflect grief, desperation, jealousy, and envy, and cowardice, among other things. Anxiety. They have resorted to trolling and intimidation, and running psyops, and drugging, and it's very obvious that they're extremely desperate, and they don't know what to do. This is great. The only thing better than making your enemy feel an uncontrolled rage, which is different from anger or righteous indignation, is making them desperate and feeling worried. I have them exactly where I want them, desperately repeating nonsensical things that have no effect. All their efforts are being pushed into things that have no effect and things that show desperation, which make me laugh, frankly. Truly. I have the upper hand. In every video that they think of as even slightly threatening, I make sure I put the Nice PSYOP playlist and remind them how it is an abuse of law enforcement to focus on the anger of the victim instead of the multiple felonies being done on the victim. If a rape victim screamed out, "I should kill them," do we focus on what she said or what happened to her? And for the same reason, how ridiculous would they look if they didn't focus on what's being done to me? Yes, I feel kind of smug, confident. Every moment, even during this video, I'm getting closer to my ultimate goal. I couldn't have imagined things possibly going better than the way they are right now. My enemies hiding like bitches, resorting to desperate, nonsensical statements, repetitive, nonsensical statements. It reminds me of their marketing campaign. Billions of dollars with attractive women, which is very typical of PSYOPs, I assure you. And I'll put a picture to remind you at the end of this clip. That, billions of dollars are spent on marketing and propaganda. The propaganda machine and the military and so on and so forth. Police and psychiatrists enforcing that propaganda. Frankly, they, drug people who have real beliefs, whose beliefs are based in reality, and they push and propagate despicable false beliefs. It's really an act of desperation. They are desperate to be in control. The difference being that they're actually successful to some degree. Their desperate acts actually work. But in my case, they don't work. You see, I am the great elephant, and they are peanuts. Understand the comparison. A psychiatrist might argue, for instance, that this guy has delusions of being an elephant. And when that doesn't work, they'll say, well, it's delusions of grandeur. And when asked, well, how come they're hiding from his top martial artist challenge then? They'll just look stupid now, won't they? Let me pat myself on the back right now because I deserve it. I have defeated all of America with all of its resources. They have failed to take on the great elephant. Well, when you have a less than great elephant and a drugged up, complex having jackass, how could you beat the great elephant, the immortal leopard, the transcendent falcon, Horus the Conqueror? I am the top martial artist in America, and I am being persecuted for my political views by desperate cowards that we all know are bitches. If America is the great Egypt, then why isn't it ruled by the greatest warrior with mind, body, and soul, instead of cowards with no soul who are sickly weaklings? I want you all to think about that. The hypocrisy. I mean, they aren't even true to their own occult philosophies. While I am the truth. Thanks for coming out, you bitches, because without your stupidity, I may not have been immortalized. Long ago in Africa, the greatest warriors on the planet in ancient combat, because of their superior religion and mind, body, soul conditioning, expelled every other race. Those races left the world, Africa, vowing revenge and to return one day. They trained daily in Asian martial arts, Middle Eastern, European, what have you. They couldn't do it until the invention of the wheel and other technology allowed them to enter briefly before being expelled. Time and time again, even though they had technology. Similar events took place in Haiti when they were expelled even though they had guns and had trained how to use them. The moral of the story is, if you want to learn how to fight the best, you must learn from the best. You don't learn how to be the top martial artist by learning from people who hide behind mainstream misconceptions, psyops, fuming, drugging, and trolling. The types of cowards who would complain about your form or your wind after they're caught on record drugging you and fuming you by multiple witnesses. This is despicable. We all know that you can build your wins simply by jogging every morning or going to the track. However, if you are fumed regularly, then there's no point in doing these things. But when we see someone who is so much better than the competition that he can beat them even fumed and drugged, even though they don't give him any time to catch his breath in the last match, he still conquers 10-0. The most common form of martial arts competition. No matter how you slice it, their argument is rubbish. It holds no weight. People have been sparring since the first depictions of martial arts, back in Egypt. So where's their integrity? Where's their discipline? Where's their honor or mental toughness? They contacted me within a few months of my top martial artist challenge. And they made it clear that they had no intention of accepting because they knew they would lose. Something they would never publicly admit on TV or otherwise, because martial artists around the world would quickly see the error of their judgment. It doesn't take the top martial artist to explain to you that if I can punch you first, I can kill you first. For example, in the ancient world, before the advent of heavy armor, when martial arts were the form of combat that was prevalent and not some kind of, adjustment to technology. If you told a general, you know what, the other army can hit us first in sparring every single time, but it's okay because we train to take them to the ground. Would that general not be furious? That is unacceptable. That means they can slice us fucking down. Imagine if you're that general. Your troops consistently will get struck first in sparring matches. Are they ready for combat? Oh boy, no they're not. They are sitting ducks. They may as well be fish in the barrel waiting to be shot. They'll be struck down by arrows for their inability to dodge and display agility. They will miss when they are trying to strike for their lack of dexterity and tact. And for their inferior mental conditioning, they will pay with their lives. These are combat arts, people. This is not entertainment. We're not playing red light, green light here. We're not doing Russian ballet or something. We're not playing Mr. Potato Head. We're not playing pin the fucking tail on the donkey or some bitch shit like that. These are combat arts. We're not trying to entertain a kindergarten class or a group of baby-killing feminists. We are displaying who has the superior application of martial arts that allows them to defeat the enemy. And if you cannot get with that, go put on a thong and wrestle with the rest of the bitches. Go put on spandex and dance with the rest of the bitches. This is combat, not bitch shit. This is war, not peace. Not singing kumbaya with the rest of the bitches. This is men manning up with men. Transferable skills, motherfucker. Translatable skills, motherfucker. Transformable skills, motherfucker. Universal skills, you pussy motherfuckers. And convertible skills, you weaklings. I am Chukwu Emeka, the top martial artist, and they're cowards that hide. And I sure as hell, so help me God, would not want to lead an army that is ill-prepared for combat like those bitches. And as far as Bruce Lee, I would cut his fucking head off. The only impressive skill I have seen from over 2 decades of watching his demonstrations in movies is with the nunchucks. Would that stop him from getting chopped down by the top martial artist? No. Could he close the distance and cause me harm before I took his head off? No, I would flatten his nose. I would bash his fucking head with an elbow. I would grab him by his fucking ears and I would smash it into my fucking knee just like my ancestors did his. I am from the supreme master fucking immortal race. We are gods compared to the fucking rest. Don't you ever forget that, you sniveling cowards. Gods rise in glory. Cowards hide, lie, and resort to the tactics of the sniveling devil hiding at the bottom of the abyss. While I rise as the immortal leopard and a transcendent hero, you tranny worshipping pussies. Never forget how they hid, cheated, and trolled. Never forget how they have conceded my point with their cowardice. Actions speak louder than words, and they may as well be roaring on the loudest megaphone in every country of the world simultaneously that they are pussies and I am the great Spaghetti. Actions roar!
Imagine if you were a software engineer who attended a college that has shown that they score almost as good as the average state or UC university when they tested their graduates versus the state and UC graduates, right? And you're a software engineer from a fairly decent college when you consider the test scores, which is what colleges are about, right? Scores, book smarts and what have you. Anyway, and you dealing with trolls every single day that don't know what they're talking about. Ironically, I just posted a video about honor. It's called Lesson in Honor by the top martial artist. And I will also let the Chicken Hawk explain, because I have a cartoon and the picture with a Mimi and so on. Anyway. So I'm checking my other channels, as I always do, to see if anybody was brave enough to accept my top martial artist challenge. And lo and behold, here's this guy. And I'll put it on the screen. You should see it right now. He said, in all seriousness, I don't think anybody is going to take you up on your challenge. Well, they might say they will challenge, but I've never seen something like you are proposing actually take place, which is actually fucking stupid, Anyone who knows anything about the history of martial arts knows that there have been people who have challenged other martial artists publicly, and any martial artist, and they haven't won for over 3 years. There's no record of that, but there are plenty records of challenges and people winning and losing. They certainly haven't done what I've done, being covertly drugged and whatnot. So then I comment and I say, look, they already have taken me up and lost, you fucking faggot. And right now I'm not insulting gay people. I'm just reading the conversation. Fuck you and your opinion. Actions speak louder than words, and I swear to God, you are a bitch. Next. This is what this guy says. Now remember, this is the opposition view for you. They lie about what I am. Okay? They say that I'm a liar. They say that I'm not the best. They lie. And they get caught, and it's very obvious lies. And this happens every day. I am so much smarter than him, so help me God. This is what he says, proving me right. He says, you are a liar, Junior. Nobody has taken you up on anything. Excuse me? On my robot channel, I have almost 500 views now. All my most common viewers know, all my regulars know that they have taken me up and they've lost 10-0. You stupid bastard. He says, then he goes on to say, those that voice their superiority the loudest are the ones taken down most easily. Oh, then why did I win 10-0? Why do I have a trophy, you bitch? I'm undefeated. I have over 100 victories. No one has taken me down ever in over 20 years of martial arts competition. Easily? You have a serious problem, son. Get help. So, you see how this works. He's wrong about my martial arts excellence. He didn't even do his research. He has mainstream misconceptions with mental health. He says, his argument is that I need psychiatric help because of a claim that I've made. Okay? Do they say that about Mayweather for saying he's the best boxer? Do they say that about anybody who's ever said that they're the best? No. And then, to top it all off, hold on a second. To top it all off, he says, I'm a liar for saying that someone has taken me up and lost. I have it on record! Like the fucking 9 other witnesses, you bitch! Boy, you an idiot!